Well, I would like to ask these critics what else we could have done given the resources we do have
For
and given the magnitude of the problem.
For example, I have spoken to people in Tacloban who have told me that they were without fresh water for a week, without food for a week, and they were getting no supplies. Is that an appropriate response?
Perhaps we should ask the first responders, which is the local government of Tacloban. The first responders will be giving us the necessary data to tell us what they cannot meet. And the disaster risk response of this country is geared towards the empowered local government unit who is supposed to provide the backbone for all of the assistance that comes from the national government. The national government comes in to augment that which the local government does not need. And they're, in a sense, a unique case. So we have to admit, there was a breakdown in terms of government, and there was a cascading effect.
But Mr. President, when you say that you want to understand the shortcomings of the municipal government and the local authorities, it sounds to some that you are saying the ultimate responsibility for this does not lie with you.
Eventually it does. I have general supervision over all. But again, the system has to rely on the local government unit which is already in place to provide the necessary information so that the adequate responses can be generated by the national government. So that's why I call it a backbone. When the backbone doesn't exist, what do you actually augment? The national government had to fill in so many roles. For instance, the lack of policemen, we had to bring in policemen from all across the country to augment that which was here, including the National Capital Region. You had to clear the airport to transport all of these people and initial relief, and even just to establish some rudimentary form of communication.
Ultimately, responsibility for this disaster lies with you.
Well, I am the chief executive. You know? Therefore, everything that happens ultimately resides with me. But if I may point out, if you look at the casualty figures, the overwhelming bulk of them happened in this region. And one has to ask, why this particular region? Why are some provinces, for instance, reporting zero casualties in terms of deaths? Or some of them are very, very minimal. But here, we're talking thousands already. What is the difference? And everybody was basically given the same bits of knowledge and information.